morning, students. Am I audible?
Good morning, sir.
Okay, let's start the session. Fine. So, am I audible? Any disturbance from my side? I need a response.
No.
Fine. Right. So, in the last class, we discussed about what do you mean by collection? Collection is nothing but a set of values. Collection is nothing but what set of values, and in order to arrange the set of values, we'll be going with collection framework. In order to arrange the set of values, we'll be going with what? Collection framework. And we have seen overview of collection framework, and we have seen collection interfaces. What are all different collection interfaces that we have? We have discussed, and now we'll be discussing about collection classes. That means we'll be focusing mainly on array list and linked list, the programs, as well as the concept of these two things we'll be discussing in today's session, and try to focus over here because if you understood one or two programs here, then remaining things are very simple to understand. So try to focus in today's session. So what do you mean by collection framework? Means collection framework provides a way to arrange the data. It's a collection framework is used to provide us a way, what provides a number of ways to store a collection of objects. So what it does by implementing several common data structures. And this collection, the definition of collection framework is that, what do you mean by collection framework? If anybody asks you what do you mean by collection framework, means a collection framework provides a number of ways to arrange the collection of objects, or to store collection of objects by implementing several data structures. And this collection framework is available in java.util package. Collection framework classes and interfaces are available in java.util package. These are the few collection framework classes that we have. Okay, now let's see what interfaces, collection interfaces. As I already discussed, that collection interfaces are of what three things. One is going to be collection, it's an interface. Other one is a list, it's another interface. In this list is extending collection interface, and queue is another interface which is extending what collection interface. Set is another interface which is extending what collection interfaces. And this list contains several abstract class, as well as what implemented classes, what normal classes will be available. And few of them are going to be array list, vector, linked list. These things will be discussing. And then stack. And these are the classes that has been implemented, that implemented this list interface. And in between, abstract classes is also there. We seen in the last class, in between some abstract classes are also there. But if you remember, at least the base thing, what do you mean by collection interfaces means, then you need to remember that collection is the topmost interface, and list, queue, and then set are implementing or extending this interface, are extending what this interface. Maniteja, you want to say something? Right. So list is another interface that is extending collection interface. Queue is another interface that extending what collection interface. Set is another interface which is extending what collection interface. And these are all what implemented classes. List, array list, vector, linked list are implemented class of what list. PRTQ is also implemented class of implemented interface. Like that we have something. So we discussed about collection interface. What do you mean by collection interface? Means it's a foundation on which the collection framework is built, because it must be implemented by any class that defines a collection. That means if you consider list, and that list has to implement this collection interface directly or indirectly, or if you go with array list or linked list or anything, you want to arrange the set of objects by using some class, then that class has to implement this collection interface. And then we have set and list, both are same. The main difference is that set does not allows duplicates, whereas list allows what duplicates. Next thing is we discussed about queue. Queue is also an interface in which queue data structure represents arrangement of elements in FIFO, first in, first out. This means elements which was entered first, and that element will be removed from the queue first. And map is like a dictionary. It's a key value pair. If key is provided, then its corresponding value will be obtained. And these are all methods that are available in collection interface. We already seen these methods. Methods of collection interface. Add, it is going to add an object. Add all means it is going to add the collection object. We'll discuss how it's going to add collection object and all. We'll discuss. Void space clear means it clears that complete object, collection object. Void space, boolean space contains object. It checks whether a particular object is present in that particular list or not. And boolean contains all. If you want to check whether the collection is there in another collection or not, then we'll be going with contains all. And then this methods, along with this we have some methods like equals, hash code, is empty, equals, iterator. This is very important. I will discuss this iterator, very important. Try to remember, every class, collection class contains something called as iterator, something called as what iterator function. And we have iterable interface, and we have what iterator class, and we have what iterator function. I will discuss this later. All right. Remember that iterator function is available in collection interface means it will be available in all classes that is implementing this collection interface. Okay, and there are collection interfaces are implemented by several classes, and some of these classes provide full implementation. Others are what abstract, providing partial implementation that are used as a starting point for creating what concrete collections. The standard collection classes packages involved in java.utilize util package are what this. Abstract collection is one class, implements the parts of collection interface. Abstract list extends collection class and implements the parts of what list interface. Abstract queue extends collection. Abstract collection and implements parts of what collection queue interface. Abstract sequential list extends abstract list. Again, this extends abstract list for what, and that uses sequential rather than random access of its elements. And then abstract collection, so again it was repeated, right? Abstract list, again it was repeated. Okay, linked list, array list, DQ, and then abstract set. So this linked list, DQ, and this are all going to be classes. These are not abstract classes, and the word that we have abstract and those things can be considered as what abstract classes. And without abstract, and those things can be called as what fully implemented classes. Fully implemented classes, enum set, fully implemented class, hash set, fully implemented class, linked list, linked has set is again fully implemented class, priority queue, tree set. These are all what things. If you find a word called set at the end of the class name, then it was implemented by set interface. If you find a word called queue at the end of the class name, then it was implemented by what queue interface. And if you find the word called list at the end of any what do you say class name, and that it is implemented by what list interface. And you need to remember what are all the differences that we have between list and then what set and then queue and map. This interfaces you need to remember, these are going to be the base. Collection interface just says that it's going to be a collection of elements, and what any type of elements we can combine into a collection. And coming to this list, what happens is we can combine different types of elements or same type of elements in one single object, but duplicates are allowed here. And in case of set, the same thing, different types of elements or same types of elements can be combined, but what duplicates are not allowed over here. And queue data structure in which it follows one principle, that is what FIFO, first in first out, first in first out. Your map is going to follow what key value pair. For every value there will be associated with what a key, just like a dictionary what we discussed in data structure, it will be like that. So like that you need to remember the base things. And based on that you can say that suppose hash set is there, it does not allows duplicates. Sorted set is there, it does not allows duplicates. Along with that, one more additional functionality will be there for that hash set. And what is that functionality that you need to remember? Array list, you need to think what do you mean by array list means duplicates has been allowed in array list. And along with that, few other things are going to be there for array list, and few other things will be there for vector. And what is there in array list that won't be there in vector, what is there in vector that won't be there in linked list, what is there in double linked list that won't be there in linked list. Like that what class to another class, there will be some advantage, there will be some disadvantage based on the requirement. That means I am the programmer, I required only few things, and that few things might be a disadvantage for one class, and that few things might be what advantage for another class. So whatever the class that I required, and that class I'm going to take, and I'm going to implement that particular class in my program. Right? Clear with this, students, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. So we discussed about collection overview, and then we discussed about collection interfaces. Two topics we completed in the last class itself. Now we'll be entering into the concept called collection classes. And in that collection classes, the first thing that we'll be discussing is array list. See students, what I will be doing is every class I'm going to discuss array list, linked list, hash set, everything I'm going to discuss. But when I'm going to discuss each and everything, what I will be doing is I will be going to Java API, and I will be opening this array list, and I will be showing you array list is implemented, extended by which classes, and it is implemented by which interface, and try to note down that. And whatever the points, important points are there for array list, and those important points you need to note down, and the program of array list you need to note down, right? So I will be saying you what points you need to note down, and what thing that you need to write, and those things will be you need to note. And let's enter into this array list. Array list, right? Array list. Try to focus over here. Array list. Array list is a class. It's not an abstract class. It's a class. Extends abstract list, which implements list interface. Which implements what? List interface. ArrayList is a class that extends abstract list, and it implements what? A list interface. And it implements what? A list interface. In Java, standard arrays are of fixed length. After arrays are created, they cannot grow or shrink, which means that you must know in advance how many elements an array will hold. But sometimes we don't know how many elements we'll store in an array at runtime. How many elements will store in an array at runtime, right? That means what happens is same problem that we are going to face from C language. Once the size of the array was declared, we are not in a position to give more than that number of elements in the output screen. But there might be some situation that on the output screen or while executing the program, there might be a situation I would like to store the number of elements into an array which is greater than the size of the array. In that case, your normal arrays, what Java is providing, what C is providing in C language, what Java is providing Java, those things are not sufficient for us. In that case, what I can do is I can go with a concept. I can go with a thing called collection framework. In collection framework, I have a class called ArrayList, and this ArrayList is going to handle that situation where we can increase the size of the array at runtime. Dynamically at runtime we can increase, as well as we can decrease the size of the array. That means you want to store 10 elements, and after executing some lines or after going with after performing some task, and you would like to delete 5 elements from the 10 elements, you can do it. You can do it directly, you can do it over there. But in case of arrays, what we discussed in Java earlier, and with those things, what we need to do is several operations we need to perform. We need to shift the elements from that position to this position, but size is not going to be changed. Suppose నాకు arrayలో 10 elements ఉన్నాయి. First 10 elements ఇచ్చాను arrayలో. 1 నుంచి 5 వరకు 9 వరకు 0 నుంచి 9 వరకు 10 elements ఇచ్చాను. ఈ 10 elements ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత నేను ఏం చేస్తానంటే ఫస్ట్ 5 elements ని డిలీట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను. డిలీట్ చేయాలి అంటే ఆ వాల్యూస్ అక్కడ కనిపించకూడదు. Then what I will be doing is I will be shifting the element present at 5th index to 0th index, element present at 6th index to 1st index. Like that I'm going to perform what shifting operations over there. Like that I'm going to perform what shifting operations over there. But in case of ArrayList, no need to perform such kind of what operations, and you can take the number of elements, how many number of elements that you want to take and that you can insert, and you can delete it. Automatically the size is going to be decreased as well as size is going to be increased. For example, in ArrayList, I stored on runtime, I stored what 10 elements. And after that, I would like to delete 5 elements from this ArrayList. Then I can delete 5 elements. Then what the memory allocated for that 5 elements will be deallocated. Only memory will be there only for 5 elements, but it's not going to be happen with normal arrays. Okay, is it clear for everyone? What's the reason for going with ArrayList in collection framework?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in order to handle this situation, collection framework defines an ArrayList that can dynamically increase or decrease in size. Now, key points. What are all things that we need to remember? This is very, very important. Insertion order is preserved here. Insertion order is preserved. In what way you are inserted? That means you inserted 10 first, and you inserted what next 11. And as per that order only, it will be maintained. While retrieving also, we'll be getting the elements in insertion order. First, I inserted 10 elements means first 10 is going to be printed. Next, I inserted 11 means 11 is going to be printed as second element. Third element is going to be 12. Just like array, here also insertion is going to be preserved. Next thing is duplicates are allowed. Duplicates are allowed because it is list. It is implemented with the list interface. In list interface, the thing that we need to remember is duplicates are allowed. In case of set, duplicates are not allowed. So duplicates are allowed. Next thing is one more additional advantage when compared to your array is that heterogeneous objects are allowed over here. Heterogeneous in sense different data elements can be allowed. Different data elements we can store. That means in one input we can give 10, in another input we can give what string, and another input we can give what float, and all these things we can combine. We can combine in ArrayList. All these things we can combine in what ArrayList. And allows random access. That means if you want to access the elements randomly, and that can be possible here. And the problem is that manipulation is slow because lot of shifting needs to occur if any elements is removed from the list. That means manipulation is somewhat slow because lot of shifting need to be performed. Because why this thing is happening is insertion is preserved over there. In what way it was inserted, in that same way we need to retrieve the elements. So in that case, they will be doing some shifting operations, but we are not doing that. Internally it is going to be happened. We are not writing any logic for what shifting and all. Internally it is going to be happened. And null insertion is possible. That means you can also insert null values. That means you can insert string, you can insert integer, you can insert float, and you can also insert what null. Array list is not synchronized. The results may be incorrect in some cases. The array list is not synchronized because I will discuss this about this synchronized and all I will discuss. Don't worry about this. Array list is not synchronized and the results may be incorrect in some cases. Okay. Is it clear with array list? Everyone respond.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Take this point, keep heading as array list to take this point. Take this point fast. And after this, take this diagram. Completed. So their iterable collection list are going to be interfaces, and abstract list and array list are going to be what classes. Abstract list is going to be what your abstract class, and your array list is going to be a concrete class. Completed.
Yes, sir.
What about others? Respond, students, respond. Day by day your response is going
Sir.
completed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Take these key points, all of you, and then we'll be entering into the methods and then programs. Don't get worried about this by seeing this many functions. They won't ask all these things in your what examination. They will ask only about the array list. If they ask about the thing like array list, explain you need to write this array list and then this diagram followed by this points and then program. That's it. No need to remember this many functions, this many classes and all. No need to remember. Just what do you mean by array list and the key points of array list followed by one program of array list. That's it. Apart from that, nothing will be there. Apart from that, nothing will be there. But we need to know functions ఉన్నాయి అని చెప్పి మీకు తెలియాలి కాబట్టి I'm going to give that particular list. If what examination లో కూడా అలా functions అన్నిటి గురించి అడుగుతూ వెళ్తే additionals సరిపోవు, అడిచే additionals సరిపోవు రాయాలంటే. Okay. So they won't ask all those things, just they will be asking the concept and the points and the program of simple program of array list. Same thing happens with linked list, same thing happens with preset, everything it's going to be same. Okay.
Sir, ఒకసారి not synchronized point చెప్పరా?
నేను ఎప్పుడు చెప్పున్నది. It takes a lot of time. If you will be getting many doubts, when time comes, I will be explaining it. No, don't worry about that synchronized end. Because at a time I will give you the list completing which were all synchronized, which were all not synchronized. Don't worry about that, I will discuss. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Completed.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, okay, రాయండి త్వరగా రాయండి అమ్మా, టైం లేదు మనకి, చాలా టాపిక్స్ ఉన్నాయి చెప్పాల్సినవి. I'm not asking you to write complete thing, only the key points, that's it. ఇవి కూడా రాయకపోతే నేను చెప్పి వేస్ట్, మీరు విని వేస్ట్ అని నా ఒపీనియన్. That's the reason I'm asking you to write. If you are writing by running, that's very good, but few students are saying that they are not able to write. నేను రాసేలోపు మీరు తీసేస్తున్నారు అని చెప్పేసి అంటారు, ఎస్పెషల్లీ మణితేజ. Completed. Respond.
Yes, sir.
మణితేజ రాసావారా?
Yes, sir.
మణితేజ, నీకు ల్యాబ్ ఎగ్జామ్ రోజు స్పెసిఫిక్ గా నీ నోట్స్ చెక్ చేస్తాను. డే 1 నేను స్టార్ట్ చేసిన క్లాస్ నుంచి ల్యాబ్ ఎగ్జామ్ జరిగే ముందు వరకు కూడా నేను క్లాస్ తీసుకుంటాను. అక్కడి వరకు నీ నోట్స్ మాత్రం నేను క్లియర్ గా చెక్ చేస్తాను, డేట్ టు డేట్ చెక్ చేస్తాను.
సార్ మీకు ఆ రోజు చెప్పిన పని మీరు రికార్డింగ్ క్లాస్ రాయమన్నారు కదా సార్.
అదే రాయమని చెప్పాను కదా, రాసావా మరి?
ఆ రోజు నుంచి అయితే రాస్తున్నా సార్.
అంత ముందు కూడా నాకు కావాలి, నేను ఒప్పుకోను.
అంతమంది క్లాస్ రికార్డింగ్స్ అంటే
ఒకటి నేను చెప్తాను నేను మణితేజ, 1 minute. Recording videos are available or not?
Yes, sir.
See the all recording videos and write the running notes. Fine. So let's see the quick overview of these methods. So ఇక్కడ మనం array list ni 3 ways ga create cheyochu without sending any parameters. These are all constructors. Without sending any parameters, we can create an array list. It is used to build an empty array list. So in that empty array list, we can insert the elements, we can delete the elements. Next, by giving some object, collection object. So this constructor used to build an array list initialized with elements from C. So mostly we are not going with this thing. We'll discuss in one single program. An array list int capacity. This constructor used to build an array list with initial capacity being specified. And initial ga manam size ichna gaani mali mana elements ni ekku insert. Suppose ikkada array list of 5 అని మీరు ఇచ్చారు. Array list of 5 అని చెప్పి మీరు ఇచ్చినా గానీ 5 ఎలిమెంట్స్ తోని వాట్ స్టోర్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఒక బ్లాక్ అనేది అలొకేట్ చేస్తుంది. మీరు 5 ఎలిమెంట్స్ అయినా స్టోర్ చేయొచ్చు, 5 కంటే ఎక్కువ కూడా స్టోర్ చేయొచ్చు, 5 కంటే తక్కువ కూడా స్టోర్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. నో ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఇన్ దట్ ఆస్పెక్ట్. సో దిస్ ఐ విల్ అడ్రస్ how to use this. I will address it. Don't worry about this. Next, methods of array list is that add element object. So this method adds a specified element at the end of the array list. If element is added successfully, it returns true, otherwise it returns what? False. And void space add into position element obj. This elements insert the specified element at specified position. And if you want to insert an element at specified position, then it is going to be inserted in that the first parameter is going to be position, next parameter is going to be an object. Object in the sense it might be integer object or float object or string object or class object or anything you can place. Next, element remove. If you give a specific position number, and this remove function will remove the element at a specified position from the array list. And then boolean space remove obj. So you can see here when you pass here integer, then that particular position element is going to be removed. But when you pass an object, and this method removes the first occurrence of the specified element object from the array list. If it is present, returns true, otherwise it returns what? False. And how we'll be doing it? We'll be discussing clearly about this. Okay. And next, void clearly. This method removes all the elements from the array list. If you apply clear function, it removes all the elements from the array list. And element space set function int position element of obj. This method replaces an element at the specified position in the list with a specified element object. That means it is going to replace an existing object. The set function is going to replace an existing object. Add function is going to add an object at specified location, and set function is going to replace the existing object with a new object at a specified position. And contains function is going to check whether an object exists in the list or not. Element object get function is going to get a specified object returns element available at the specified position in the array list. It uses element. It uses object present at a specified position. And here index of object, that means it uses element. Suppose if a particular object exists in the array list, then it returns first occurrence of the element from beginning, and last index of means from last onwards it returns. So see, this method returns position of first occurrence of the specified element obj in the list, or -1 if the element is not found in the list. This method returns the position of the last occurrence of the specified element obj in the array list, or -1 if the element is not found in the list. Int size, this method returns the number of elements present in the array list. Okay, these are all going to be methods that are available in array list. Now let's enter into the programming of array list. One minute, I will go with simple program, then we'll discuss. Right. So just try to see this, students, everyone. Very, very simple program. Right. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to import this java.util package. After that, array list demo. Public static void means string args, and array list AL is equal to new array list object I'm creating. After creating, while creating, I'm not sending anything over here. Just I'm creating an object with without any constructor. After that, I'm going to add AL dot add of new string of 10. That means here I'm sending an object. I'm not sending element here. I'm sending what object here, right? New string, new integer of 10, and then new integer of what 20, new integer of 20. After that, new string of high. That means here I'm not only sending integer object, I'm sending what a string also. I'm sending what string also. Now I'm going to add one more thing. One more thing here I'm going to add, that is 123 semicolon, and I'm going to add like this, right? And after this, I would like to see whether how many values are there in that list or not. Means then I'm going to print values are AL. If I print AL means how many objects are available in this AL, and those objects will be getting over here. Generally, if you print an object, which method is going to be called?
ToString, sir.
Very good. Which method is going to be called? ToString method is going to be called, right? In that ToString method, that AL, if I call AL means then what happens? ToString method is going to be called. That means array list ToString method was overridden in such a way that it has to give complete elements. It has to give complete list of elements that are there in that AL object. Okay. Simply remember that if you print what AL, you will be getting the complete list of elements, that 10, 20, high, and then 123 you will be getting. After that, AL dot size means how many number of elements that are there in this AL, and that size you'll be getting over there. That size you'll be getting over there. And after that, we'll be applying something called as AL dot remove of 1. AL dot remove of 1. See, this remove is going to work in such a way that I said that remove element, remove int position, and then boolean remove object. Here, what we'll be sending to this remove function that matters over here. Here we are sending only value. Here we are sending only value. That means we are sending position. Suppose if you are taking like this new integer like this, if you are taking, then it is somewhat different. That means we are sending an object. If that particular object exists in the list, it deletes that particular object. If you are sending directly 1, then what happens? It will be considered as a position. It will be considered as what? A position. That means it is going to delete an element present at a first position. It is going to delete an element present at a first position. That means here also starts from 0, present at first position. First position element is going to be what there? 20. 20 is going to be deleted. And if I'm going to say size means, what's the size here? 4. So in this case, we'll be getting 4. After removing an element, we'll be getting size as 3. And then we'll be printing the elements, we'll be getting what? 3 elements over there. We'll be getting 3 elements over there. This is very, very simple program. What I done is I created an array list. I added 3 elements with the help of add function. 4 elements I added. After that, I'm printing those 4 elements, and then size I'm printing. I'm removing one value, which is present at first index. And then what? I'm going to print the size as well as elements. Let's see whether we'll be getting an expected output or not. Java C space array list demo dot Java. After that, I'm going to compile it, and there won't be any errors. Okay, so there won't be any problem here because we might be using a different depreciated errors over there. So depreciated methods, so that there won't be any problem because they're given warnings. If warnings, you can neglect, no problem. Depreciated methods and previous loan methods used as previous and 1.0 version 1.1 loan methods still used as the, then it uses an error. See, values are, it's printing 10, 20 high and then 123. After that, size is what? 4. And then we deleted some element, size is 3, and second element, that means 0 first index element, that is 20 is deleted, and we got 10 high and then 123 is the value. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So yesterday I got one question from one student. I will address that. Okay, same program. Right. See, what happens is I would like to create a list, array list, and in that array list, I would like to go with only string objects. You can observe this program. There is no thing here. I can add any values here. See, I can add AL dot I can add what float value also, float of 10.369. I can add float value also, no problem over there. I can add float value also, and I can compile it. Different values can be added. Different values can be added over there. Okay. Not saved. Oh, we are outside.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Right, we got 10.369. We can add those values. Okay, and we deleted element 10 this time. We can add any type of values. We can add any type of values. And one more thing here, al dot remove of remove of, I'm going to take float of 10.369. If element exists, what happens? It deletes it. If element does not exist, it returns what? False. Right, see, first 5 elements are there, and then we performed what deletion 2 times. One is second index as well as the object that we deleted, and remaining second index means 10 was deleted, and 10.369 we deleted, and then what 20 high 123 will be printed over there. 20 10 123 is going to be printed over there. Okay, so this is what your array list. Now array list demo, what I'm doing is, after this I'm going to take type over here. That means I'm specifying which type of values I would like to store. So here I'm specifying string, and I'm in a position to store only string values. If you're giving any other values, and it automatically converts those things into what? String, if possible, right? Maximum we can convert any data in the form of what? A string. So I can store only string values. That's the reason I'm going to take within this, just like the templates what we used in thing, and new what array list, and before creating an object, again I'm making it this is what a thing. That means it's going to create a array list of strings. I can add what strings over here, add dot list, and you might be getting some doubt. Suppose I'm going to add something like this, sir, add of I'm going to take something like 123 I'm going to take, then in that case what happens? So that we'll check later. Now first of all, let's see the execution of this. Now previously what I done here, I printed the values system.out.println of system.out.println of what list I printed. After printing this list, I'm going to get the complete objects over there, just what we had done in the previous program. Okay, values are అని చెప్పేసి al అని చెప్పి ప్రింట్ చేస్తాను. ఇక్కడ కూడా ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, list అని చెప్పేసి ప్రింట్ చేస్తాను, so that whatever the list is there, and those list I'm going to get. But there are different ways are there to access to traverse this list. There are different ways are there to traverse this particular list. So what are all different ways? Is by using what for loop, and by using what for each loop, and by using what list iterator, and by using what list iterator, traversing using what iterator, and traversing using what list iterator, and then traversing in reverse direction through using what list iterator, and traversing using what for each method, traversing using what for each method, traversing through for each remaining method. Like different ways are there to traverse that particular thing. Now what you aware of these things just up to this, so we'll discuss up to this. Let's see. Okay, I will make all these things in common lines. So ఇన్ని వేస్ ఉంటాయి మనకి, ఇన్ని వేస్ తెలియాలి actually గా, but takes a lot of time. Okay, so we got Java, DBMS, OS, and then Befa. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add some other value over here. I would like to add, you might be getting some doubts. Suppose I'm going to add something like 123, sir. Then what happens? Let's check it. It will convert that into 123 or not. So it's giving something like incompatible types int cannot be converted to what? A string. Some message have been simplified, recompile, like that. It's giving some message over there. It's generating what? An error. We are not in a position to do it. It's not going to convert it because it's strictly restricted it to what? It's strictly restricted it to what? We need to add what? Integers only. If you're trying to add any other thing, it's not typecasting. I thought it will be what typecasted, but it's not going to be typecasted. Now I'm going to save this. Okay, fine. Now what we'll be doing is I'm going to remove or else I'm going to create one more object over here. One more object, array list object I'm going to create. And this array list object is going to take what? Integer. Is going to take what? Integer. And now I'm going to take here the array list object as list1 and list1 dot add of 10. Next list 20 and then 30. Save it. Now I'm going to print list1. Save it. Oh, sorry. Primitives we are not supposed to take, sorry. Okay, so this only integers. Suppose now in this list1 dot add of, I'm going to take some string over here. In that case, it generates what? Error. Right? It generates what? Error. Incompatible type string cannot be converted to what? Integer. String cannot be converted to what? Integer. Clear with this, everyone?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
So two objects we created here. Two objects we created over here, and we have compiled this array list. Okay, fine. So see, students, this many ways are there. First, by using what? Only for loop, and with the help of this for loop, we can what? Access the elements. Next, we can use for each loop, and then iterator is there. List iterator is there. List iterator in reverse direction is there. Iterator only forward direction. List iterator we can go forward as well as what? Backward. And traversing list through for each method. Traversing list through for each remaining method. Like that, different ways are there. To traverse what your thing. Now we'll be discussing in one by one. And now what we'll be doing is just we'll go with this thing first. That is by using what? For each by using what? For loop. So just like how we are taking here array for int I is equal to 0 and 0 less than what? List dot size. List dot size means this list contains total how many elements here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it gives us what? 6. 0 less than 6 means condition is true. And in that system dot out dot println of get of I, get of 0. That means list dot get of 0. The element present or the value present at the 0th index or the object present at 0th index will be taken and that will be printed. After that, I plus plus means I becomes 1 and 1 less than what? A list dot size means it prints what? The value present at first index or the object present at first index. Next, like that, it goes up to 6. Whenever I becomes 6, 6 less than 6 means condition is false. It comes out of the for loop. And same thing happens with respect to this for each loop. And in this for each loop, what happens is first we'll be taking string obj colon list. Now what happens in first iteration is it takes the first element and stores that in obj and it prints obj. That means first object it is going to print. Second iteration, it takes what second value from the list, second object from the list, and it's stored in obj. Again, it prints what? Obj. Third iteration, third object. Fourth iteration, fourth object. Fifth iteration, fifth object. Sixth iteration, sixth object. Seventh iteration, there won't be any elements in list. It comes out of that particular loop. That means if list contains 10 elements, 10 times your for loop is going to be repeated. No one is going to stop that. It goes up to 10 times. If list contains 100 objects, means the loop is going to be going with for 100 times. No one is going to stop it, right? Here we can do manipulation, students. Suppose instead of list.size, if I take 3 means only 3 elements you'll be getting. If I say 4 means 4 elements you'll be getting. But in this for each loop, it's not going to be like that, right? Let's save this. Let's see whether we'll be getting the elements or not. Java C space array list demo1.java, and then we'll be compiling it. So the first thing is we printing with respect to first object we are printing directly, we are printing, and second object we are printing, and traversing list by using loop system.out.println we are taken, and traversing by using what? For each loop. Okay, so like this we are done. Any doubts up to this?
Clear, sir.
Respond.
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.